Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. Today we are going to be making a chocolate cake. Technically it's not a cake because there's no flour in it. It's a chocolate torte that only contains 3 ingredients. It has rave reviews and it only has 3 ingredients. Did I mention that? I did mention that. Oh, it only takes 15 minutes to cook. Sold. And chocolate, I mean, it's gotta taste good, even if it, I don't know. I'm here to make it, to test it, so I can let you know what I think about it. I found this recipe on Food 52. You can also find it in the Cake Bible because it comes from Rose Levy Berenbaum and it looks fantastic. And because it's Rose Levy Berenbaum, I think it's going to be pretty good. The official name of this recipe is the Chocolate Oblivion Truffle Torte. Torte because there's no flour in it. So if you're gluten-free, maybe this is the recipe for you. So let's go ahead and get started. Only 3 ingredients, lots of technique, and only 15 cooking minutes. Because we're only using 3 ingredients, we want this to taste extra delicious. We want to use some good quality chocolate. Now, some people call this bittersweet chocolate. Is 62% chocolate mass. That means it's going to be more bitter, more chocolatey flavored than say a milk chocolate, which usually has about 33% chocolate mass. It just means it's going to have more chocolatey flavor, usually less sugar. It tends to be more snappy, but for this recipe, we want a good amount of it. This is 1 pound of dark chocolate. I've got it broken up in bits here, and we're going to need some butter, 2 sticks or 227 grams. And we're going to melt these 2 ingredients together. You can do this over a double boiler, which simply means taking this bowl of chocolate and butter and putting it over some hot water and melting it. But I am going to use the microwave. To make things easier, I'm going to cut my butter up into bits. The recipe calls for room temperature butter, and I have left this at room temperature, but it's pretty cold today. So it is still pretty sliceable. So a couple of things about melting chocolate. Don't burn it. So if you're going to use the microwave like I am, do 30-second intervals, stir 30-second intervals until it's just melted. So we already know this is going to be delicious because look at all this butter and gorgeous chocolate. And behind me, I have my oven preheating to 425 degrees. Okay, into the microwave, 30-second intervals. Give it a stir until everything is melted and incorporated. Hi, I'm back. I put this in the microwave and realized that I am on a quest to use the right size bowl. So we are going to go big because we were going to add our eggs to this bowl. That means this bowl is going to be, yet again, too small. So working on it. Just go for the bigger bowl, right? All right, back in the microwave. Alrighty, lovelies. The chocolate and butter are completely melted, and look how gorgeously glossy that looks. Beautiful. I always love this step because it smells divine and looks so sexy. Look at that. Now, it took me a total of about 2 minutes to melt my chocolate and butter together, but it will depend on how big your chocolate pieces are. The bigger the chunks, the more time. Now we are going to set this aside for a moment. Next, I'm going to use the bowl of my stand mixer. If you don't have a stand mixer, that's fine. You can use an electric mixer, but you want your bowl to be heat proof because we're going to be warming up the eggs just a little bit. But first we're going to crack them. And I've got 6 eggs, which are at room temperature. I let these sit out for a little bit before I started the recipe. If your eggs are not at room temperature and your recipe calls for it, I usually put them in a little bit of warm water just to warm them up a bit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to whisk these with, it says specifically a wire whisk, over some simmering water. I've got some water that I've got simmering here, not too hot. And then we're going to place our bowl right on top. and whisk continuously until our eggs are just warm to the touch. All right, I'm gonna stick my finger in there. Oh yes, it is getting warm. Let's get a thermometer and see. It's like 81 degrees, 82 degrees. That temperature is 90 degrees. Take it off the heat, remove this. By the way, I've gotten lots of comments about my pot here. This is a Dance Coben style and it is vintage. And I have had this pot for many years. So it comes from the 1970s, but I've had it in my possession for, I don't know, 10, 15 years, and it's great. Do not buy the new reproductions, which I have. They are not of good quality. Mine chipped soon after I used it, and I tried to get a replacement, and they didn't. They said that that's character. That $165 for a pot that has chipped enamel, that's character after I've used it less than 20 times. Anyways, don't mean to go on too much of a rant of a tangent, but if you like this pot, look for a vintage one. Don't buy the new ones. Okay, continuing with the recipe. We are going to grab our stand mixer and place our warm eggs into the mixer, fitted with a whisk attachment. And beat this on high for 5 minutes or until the eggs are light in color and billowy and poofy and tripled in volume. Alrighty, here we go. Wait, what? No, everything's on. Sheesh. Alrighty, my lovelies, it's been 5 minutes since we started whipping up the eggs, and it's phenomenal how they transform. They do triple in volume, but until you actually see it, it's amazing. It's almost like at soft peaks, the color is much lighter and the volume is tripled. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. Now we're going to combine our eggs to our chocolate. Our chocolate has had some time to cool off a bit, which is great. Before I do that, I want to mention that I've already prepared a pan, and this is an 8-inch springform pan, which will allow us to remove the pan from the torte. I have lined the bottom with some parchment paper, just the bottom, and I've greased the sides with some butter, and I've put 3 layers of heavy-duty foil, because we're going to put this in a water bath and we don't want any water getting into our cake. So that's what we got to do to prep. Add our eggs to the chocolate. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's so glorious. So gorgeous. And aren't we glad we switched to a bigger bowl? Now we're going to fold this together. I'm going to try not to lose too much of the volume if at all possible. So just until incorporated. So yeah, I would recommend adding a little bit of the eggs to the chocolate first to help kind of fluff up the chocolate, and then adding the remaining eggs, so it's a little bit easier to combine. Look at all the volume I've lost. I hope this works out. Now goes in our batter. Beautiful. Now we're going to place this into a preheated 425 degree oven, but first I'm going to demonstrate here, but take this to your oven, place this pan in the oven, place this inside it, and then add some hot water 1 inch up the side of the pan. Bake it for 5 minutes, then loosely cover it with some foil and bake it for another 10. Then take everything out, take the cake out of the water bath, let it cool for 45 minutes before wrapping it tightly with plastic wrap and then refrigerating it for at least 3 hours. And then I will return. We will slice this and give this a taste. Okay, my lovelies, I shall see you in a little bit. Alrighty, my lovelies, I am back several hours later, presently bespectacled and hair tied back. So now we can taste our lovely chocolate torte. Alrighty, let me grab it out of the fridge. I love that. I love making the plastic wrap nice and tight so that you can bang it like a drum. So the recipe gives you very specific directions on how to unmold this. They said the cake or torte must be very well chilled, and then we're going to torch the outside with a torch. If you don't have a torch, I said a hairdryer will work as well. Here is our cake, nice and hard and firm, and we're going to release it by putting some flame on the outside. Okay, just go around, and this will help release it. It doesn't say how long to do this for, but I'm going to go around a couple times. After doing that, I've noticed there's now a space between the cake and the mold. Great, just like when you bake a cake and it shrinks. So I'm guessing that this is now time to be released. So springform pan, you just release that and push it. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, it totally worked. Okay, this is exciting. Okay, ready? It did work. Then I got all excited. Okay, all right, it is released. I'm gonna push it through, I guess. Oh God. Okay, I wasn't expecting quite that, but it is out. Oh man, that looks gorgeous. Okay, don't drop it. Look at that. That looks lovely. It released very nicely. Look at that. So the recipe also gives slicing advice. It recommends using a thin knife that's been sitting in a glass of hot water and to wipe the knife off with each cut. Wipe the excess water off, preheated knife. Here we go. Oh, that slices very dreamily. Oh, spoke too soon. Just go straight down. Okay, and I have not released it from the parchment. Am I breaking the tip? Okay. Stay on there. Oh yes, you getting this? Ooh, look at that. Oh yeah, that looks great. Beautifulness. Look at that. Uh-huh. Look at that fudginess. That photogenic of a cake, to be honest.
Why you bully me?
But I think the flavor will make up for it. Here is the beautiful slice of chocolate Oblivion Torte. Let's give it a taste. Look at that bite. Here we go. Itadakimasu. Oh man. It's magnificent. Oh my gosh. First of all, the flavor is so good. And because there's so few ingredients, I think the key to success for this in terms of flavor is going to be really dependent on the quality of chocolate you use. So try to get the best quality chocolate you can. I use Scharfenberger and it is fantastic. Lovely dark chocolate flavor, perfect amount of sweetness for me, not too sweet and so richly, deeply chocolatey. There's no chewiness to it. Some brownies can be chewy, not chewy at all, not cake-like. Instead, it has kind of a moussey quality. Not quite a foam, but has a density of mousse slightly, like a whipped texture, along with a denseness that's somewhat cake-like, but a little bit more set. Kind of like a pumpkin pie, but not jellied, more airy. But the flavor is so phenomenal. It doesn't taste eggy at all. It's so good. If you love dark chocolate, if you love flavors that are in a brownie, but want this kind of elevated souffle, whipped like texture with a deeply chocolate intensity, this is it. I've got it. It tastes like the interior of a truffle, or tastes like chocolate ganache. If you've ever made truffles before, which is often just a combination of cream and chocolate melted together and solidified into a lovely ball oftentimes, that's what this is like. No wonder it's called chocolate Oblivion Truffle Tart, because it tastes like a truffle. If there is someone in your life that loves dark chocolate, make this for them. It is really actually quite simple to make. It only requires 15 minutes of baking and only 3 ingredients. Alrighty, my lovelies. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye! Alright, time to go. Ah.